Well, welcome back to this episode of Confessions of a Property Investor. I'm Catherine Andrews, Managing Director of Chase Wealth Australia.
And I'm Michelle White, Director of Qualifications.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, our topic is do not wait. The time will never be just right. And this is essentially a comment, quote, statement that we hear ongoingly from potential investors, friends and family, anyone that you talk to about property investing. And they've obviously got their own valid reasons as to why they don't believe now is the time to invest in property, but the time will never be just right. So, Michelle, I know that, again, Michelle White is always the first in line when it comes to client facing, and she is the one that deals with the fears, the initial fears, and Australians in general, their limitations in knowledge when it comes to the right timelines. Michelle, do you want, I guess mindset is the first thing that we should probably talk about. Do you want to take us through the general mindset that you find a lot of Australians are in when it comes to the right time?
Yes. Look, what I find is that everyone has that fear factor within them to take that first step. It's almost like, look at a family that is preparing to have a baby. When is the perfect time? When is there a period of time that's going to work ideally for you? And the property market can work the same sort of way. So thinking, is there something in place that I want to achieve before I invest? Or do I want an extra stability in this area before I invest? Because the concept of investing might appear scary and unknown without the knowledge behind it. And for that reason, it's really just that fear that's making their mindset put it off, as opposed to a reality of actually knuckling down and having a look at the situation and seeing that the sooner you get into it, the more time you give yourself to be able to grow from an investment point of view.
Yeah, and I guess, Michelle, what are some of the little milestones that people set for themselves that they would rather get to first prior to investing? I can give you an example. One thing that I've heard is, look, I want to get my promotion at work. I want to get my pay rise in my employment first, and that's not going to take place till November this year. I can come back then. That's something that to their mindset is quite valid.
Yes.
So they, again, like you were saying, miss out on that bigger picture. Do you want to give us and our listeners some examples of what you hear day to day?
Yeah, so it could be something internally, like a promotion, like wanting to see what's happening in their own life with family. It could be something external. They might want to set themselves a goal and say, well, once I've paid my home down by an extra 5,000 or 10,000, then I'll have a look at it, without realizing, well, actually an investment property could help you do that.
Yeah.
Or I want to see what's going to happen with the interest rates. I want to see where the property market's going to turn.
The interest rates. Okay, so this is a statement that I found is targets at us day in, day out. And one thing I want to say in general to all of those Australians that are worried about interest rates. As economies rebound from recessions or downturns, property values tend to rise. Due to the increased job opportunities and consumer confidence, this usually drives the demand for property, leading to price appreciation. Fact. That, in my 22 years of experience in property, is something that I have seen time and time again. This is the time to invest. Don't wait for those rates to start coming down. The only limit I see there is probably serviceability.
Yes.
That would stop someone. So if Chase Wealth Australia tell you do service financially to purchase an investment property, you service. Get it done. Don't wait, because then I guess numerically is where we start to see the loss that our clients probably don't realise.
Yes.
So, Michelle, numerically we know that there is an appreciation in property assets every year. Let's work off, a lot of people work off 7%. Okay, I'm funny about that because there's a lot of areas of Australia that are operating much higher than that, and there's some areas sitting at the 3%. But let's work off 7%. 7% on a $585,000 property. Okay, what would our clients make in the first year based off that? 40,
Probably looking about 40 to 45,000.
45 grand. Okay, so let's say our clients say to you, okay, Michelle, I don't want to do it this year because the rates are sitting at 6.8%. I'd rather wait till next year. Take our listeners through over a period of, say, 10 years, how much our clients could use on that 7% increase.
So I guess the easiest way to be able to analyse it is the fact that by pushing out your start time, you're actually reducing the amount of time that you have for that property to continue appreciating in value. So it's not the $40,000 at the beginning that they're missing out on. It's what that property is going to be worth in 10 years' time and the growth that it's going to receive at that point. So it's, let's say that property is doubled in value from, we're saying 585 to
1 mil even.
Yeah, even a mil. 7% on a mil is the component that they're missing out on 10 years further down the line. So they're really kicking themselves in the foot by thinking, let's just push it out and push it out, because the more time you have for that property to increase in value, the higher it's going to continue to grow.
And that's one thing that I want to articulate as well through this confessional is property is a long-term investment. A lot of people have seen that boom that's happened in southeast Queensland, and properties increased by, some of them upward of $200,000 in a couple of years. Yes, and that's all great. Love it. But realistically, it is a long-term investment, and that's why we urge a lot of our listeners and our viewers out there, and those of you that are really wondering if you should do it now, if you service, do it now. Michelle, anything else? I guess where I like your input is that first point of contact. So I've just told thousands of Australians out there to do it now. Some of them are looking at us going, what do you know? You guys are in the property industry. You guys, you want us to come in. That's all about sale, sale, sale. Tell them the reality of why. Apart from what I've just said with, economies that rebound from recession and that and what's in it for them and numerically, talk to them about reducing that fear, how we do that.
Yeah. So a lot of that fear comes from lack of knowledge or the unknown, being able to go through that step by step with a client, breaking down what those fears really are, because most of the time the fear is not what they're actually saying that it is.
Look at them now. Tell them. Tell them, Michelle, what you would tell them if you were sitting in their living room having a cup of coffee with them.
In all honesty, I would tell them that we've got you. By being able to analyse your situation, being able to know what your lifestyle is like, what your goals are like, what your fears are, we will be able to hold your hand and guide you through the process and provide you with the knowledge and the evidence and the facts and the figures to put your mind at ease. And that's the easiest way to be able to explain it.
Yeah, especially on general terms.
Yeah.
In particular.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Anytime.
Thanks, Mish. I love having you as a guest. It's amazing because you tend to give insight to a lot of people that haven't taken that first step. And you're the one that's out there facing a lot of this. Like I've said before, by the time they come to me, it is just numbers.
Yes.
I tend not to see the emotional side of it. A little bit, but not as much as you would. So well done.
Thank you. Anytime.
Well, thank you all for listening, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Take care. See ya.